What's up, Internet? This is Minty Kiwi Crunch bringing you my first strike advice and hint guide. I guess I could just say advice and hints, but fuck it. Let's throw a guide in there. Anyways, we're doing this on the first strike you'll probably ever do, the Earth Strike with Sepsis Prime. I'm going to preface this is the way I usually tend to play when I'm on this strike. I do this pretty much either with randoms or if I'm doing it with a team. I prefer to run gun. If you've ever seen any of my Mass Effect 3 videos, or I would say Mass Effect Let's Play, but that's mostly me yelling and hiding in a corner crying. If you've watched any of my Mass Effect 3 build videos, I play very similar to that, where I'm not really in cover unless I need to be to recover my shields or for an objective or something like that. So I'm mostly moving around the area, trying to get kills and focusing on the larger enemies. So that's kind of what I'm going to preface first, is that I prefer to run in gun, and I think it's actually a really good strategy for this mission. Minus the whole tank battle thing, because that's very campy and trying to focus and coordinate with your teammates. And you might say how to do that with randoms, and it's kind of just, you get lucky, sometimes you don't. Anyways, first part, you walk through the hallway, it's just simple stuff. It's not really, they're not difficult enemies. Just kill them quickly, not too bad. Moving on to the first wave where you have to hold out against this area. They tend to do that with the first two strikes. Both of them have this wave mode. You have to defend for 3 waves. Not that bad. First wave is just basic enemies. I think there's a captain. I don't think I know there's a captain. There's a captain. It's not that bad. It's probably the hardest thing about that wave. When you enter the room, there is a wizard. Focus on the wizard first, toss some grenades, work on the knight, really work on the hive. There's also, in the video behind this, you'll see that there's some vandals with sniper rifles up top. That's all a nice place to stay if you're more of the campy snipey type. Camping is a legitimate strategy, except if you're a bitch in Crucible. It's a nice place to stay. There's good cover up there as well. I don't particularly like up there unless you're playing on a heroic strike, which then it is vital. But there's also snipers that come in on the second wave up on the rafters where you first come in, or where I first come in normally. Aim to take those out first, then work on the captain. After that wave, there will be some shanks that come in. Make sure you get rid of those. They can be pretty bad news. Fallen, the dregs and vandals generally tend to try to swarm the area, the objective that you have to hack. I would definitely focus on trying to kill them before they get there, but if you start to get overrun, move to the left. There's an area where the Fallen generally don't go. The hive that come in the next wave usually go over there, but the Fallen tend to stay on the right side and in the back. The captains especially like to stay in the back. Moving on, third wave, hive come in. There's, I believe, 3 wizards that end up coming in. Especially on the level 24 strikes and 22 strikes, I know that there's 3 wizards. I believe on the earlier levels there's only 1 or 2. But there's 1 wizard that comes out with the start of the wave, along with a bunch of acolytes and a few thralls. There's no knights at this area, so it's not too bad. There's no one really coming in close to you besides the acolytes trying to move into that left area. So definitely focus on the hive. They come out first. The wizard can be terrible news because they're very agile, and I know the captains can teleport, but the wizard generally tends to focus on you more than a captain does. A captain usually will teleport around, not really focus on you all that much, and kind of focus on his own survival. So definitely focus on the wizards. 2 more will come out after you kill majority of the hive troops and some of the fallen troops. And then the third and final area, there's the 6 more shanks will come out, or 8 more rather, on the harder difficulty will come out following a bunch of stealth vandals. Make sure you keep an alert on them. I know in the footage I'm showing, the 2 randoms I'm playing with are actually really, really good, and they're I'm pretty sure they're in their own fire team working together and coordinating to kind of keep them back there. There's not too many enemies coming in to the area that I'm talking about. But the stealth vandals can pose a huge problem even if you're well equipped. Definitely take them seriously and try to take them out from far away. Second and third wave also has stealth snipers, so be careful of that. Moving on, there's some enemies in the hallway after that area once you finish it and beat the final captain. He's a little bit difficult, but as you can see, a super does wonders on him. Blade dancers can absolutely ruin his day, even at level 23 and 24. Just be careful that you're at full shields before doing that. So the next hallway, there's 5 enemies, easy picking, no real trouble. Then you move on to the tank. The tank area, I generally tend to stay behind that building that you've seen in the footage. It's my main area, and I can tell when he's aiming at me. I'm not really confused, like I can't tell if he's not aiming at me or anything. And I have a good vantage point for my sniper rifle, which does, I think, 3,000 damage to him, which is very, very nice. Usually, when I'm playing with my friends, Carter and Tony, usually they will go on, one will go in the side area. There's a little hallway you can go into, and it's pretty safe. He can eventually move up a little bit. The tank will move up a little bit and aim down that hallway, which will cause a problem. But it happens often, but it's not a huge issue. You can easily move out of the way. I usually stay in that same area, and then someone will sweep up the left side and kind of keep him moving, like rotating side to side so he can work his legs. We did something very similar. We didn't have someone in that side hallway, but we had someone in between me and the person on the left. So we were able to get a good range, and we did a lot of damage to him when he was down. So we were able to kill him very quickly. After that, mop up the enemies. They'll keep spawning, I'm pretty sure, until the tank's dead. If you need ammo, there's enemies in the middle. Just make sure you have enough to actually kill the captain. Captain's kind of a pain. There's also a captain and vandal that will spawn behind me occasionally. You'll see me run. I'll include it in this commentary and video. You'll see that they spawn behind me, and the other guy is really good at taking care of them because they mostly come up to where he is. That can be a pain if you're not being careful and if you don't have someone up there, or if you're the person by the building not paying attention. They can definitely get your shields down, and you're kind of scrambling. If the tank's firing at you, you'll have a limited area to go to avoid their fire. So just be careful of that. Once the tank's dead, the door will open. I believe 5 vandals will come out. It's not too huge of an issue. Just take care of them and move on to the strike boss. Strike boss is easily the easiest boss, I think. Compared to all the others, he doesn't do the most damage, and the only real issue is getting overwhelmed by enemies because everyone's just focusing on the boss. I generally prefer to take out the minions when I can and focus on the boss after they're all dead. That's just a strategy I've been using for just about every strike boss now. So that's what I do. I'll aim for the dregs, aim for the vandals, the shanks. They come out periodically. It all depends on where his health is. But just keep aiming for the eye. The eye is his critical, and it's very small. So just focus on that, take out the enemies, and just watch where enemies are spawning in and when the dropship comes in. Dropship can be a pain because it will shoot at you. So don't think you're completely safe behind those boxes in front. Only other thing with Septicus is that he will teleport to the sides, like above you if you're hanging back in the corners. So that can be an issue if you're not prepared for that. But other than that, he's generally an easy boss. I'll show at the end where a golden chest is if you haven't seen it or haven't collected yet. I know there's multiple guides out for the golden chest, so I haven't done any of those. I was planning on it, but there was guides up within like the first 5 hours of all the planets, so it wasn't worth it. So that's my general advice. Septicus Prime is a very easy boss, and there's usually a bounty for him. I think there was a bounty for him like every other day, so it's easy experience. I recommend just doing it in the strike playlist. It does come up quite a bit. I know that sometimes only the Venus ones come up. I've had an issue where I was on Venus for about 5 strikes in a row, and it was kind of a pain, but at the same time it was fun. I mean, I really like the strikes in this game. It's definitely the favorite part of this game I like. So tell me what you guys think of this. I have 2 more coming out along with an exotic weapon guide that I've started. I was hoping on finishing it today, but there's one part that I'm stuck at, and it's fucking difficult. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, and if you want more of these, subscribe and let me know. I will definitely. I have 2 more definitely in the works: Mars and fuck the Moon. I almost forgot which other one. So stay tuned for those. They'll probably be out this week. I'll record the commentary right after this one. So thanks, guys. See ya.